Did you guys watch?
Yeah, Dynamite.
Yeah. It says here on the WrestleNomics report that 800,000 viewers is the number, but that's only from 8 to 10. They're waiting to get the numbers from 10 to 11 in the quarter hours, which I don't have yet. Or well, 10 to 11 was Rampage then, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So was Rampage.
So, yeah.
Do you have
still no
Rampage?
541,000.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Dynamite was 800.
Same as last week, or a little bit more, a little bit less?
Literally almost the exact same.
Almost the exact same, yeah. Yeah, this goes right.
But you don't have the quarter hours, like who did what?
Not yet, no.
All right.
Be interested to see what the main event is.
What was the main event? It was Edge and Christian.
Edge and Christian, yeah.
All right. So Monet, Monet comes out and cuts a promo. Basically, he cuts a promo. She's the CEO. She directed the fans to have her watch the screen to show like who she is, just like an introduction. Kind of heelish a little bit in the video,
right?
Little bit of tint of arrogance for the character, right?
Right.
Then she said she was rocking and rolling all over the world before it was taken away from her. She said setbacks make for major comebacks. She said she wasn't into AEW to lead a woman's evolution because she's done that before. She said they was there to lead a woman's global revolution, both in AEW element. She said Julia Hart and Sky Blue must not have heard her last week. She said she had unfinished business with Willow Nightingale. So then the lights go out, and Julia Hart's standing at ringside smiling, and Sky Blue comes in and attacks her. Monet quickly puts her down with the backstabber, and Hart ran him. Blue had to save her by pulling her ringside. Hart Blue grabbed chairs. Then Willow Nightingale, Chris Sadler ran out with chairs. We kept the heels of ringside. The lights went out again. Then Hart and Blue were gone once the lights came on, and Willow stood behind Monet with a chair in her hand, and then dropped it once Monet spotted her. And Monet was upset with Willow and left the ring. And Monet told Willow for the floor that her eyes are on her, like, I'm watching you. Bro, the acting in this was horrific. Like the way Willow was standing. Did you see the way Willow was standing there holding the chair?
Absolutely brutal, bro. It looked contrived.
Right.
Why would you be holding the chair that long?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so that was terrible. Plus, here's the thing. And I'm not hating. I'm just stating by this point, I shouldn't have to say it because everybody listens to the show knows how we roll. But I've always felt that Julia Hart was not an entertaining character, and she's too green to be the world champion. I mean, you could have given that to Taya, to Mercedes Martinez, there's so many to Thunder Rosa now that she came back, but she's still green. She doesn't come off as evil or menacing or
like the facial expression for her character. There's no body language.
Right.
And
So like the same one-dimensional look. The other girl, Sky,
she looks like she's lost, kind of, right?
Yeah. The other girl does nothing for me either. So to me, it's not as bad as like when CM Punk came in against Lee Moriarty. But who wants to see her against them? Okay. Willow, who's like kind of like the AEW version of Bayley when Bayley was really happy, remember?
Right.
Is she going to turn heel now? She's one of their most over girls.
She looked plus two. You got Sasha out there just like $1 million.
Bro,
the other girls come out there like blue jeans and
right. I was going to bring that up in a tank top type of thing.
They look like fans.
Pop top, yeah.
I mean, they look like fans that like were hitting the ring on the star, right? So another thing too about this program, I don't want to be a hater, but this is just from a writer's perspective. Things I noticed. So they brought in this girl Jen Peterman to help with the writing. Right. That promo sounded exactly like a scripted promo written by a writer.
Right.
Like you could tell, right? The way she was talking, so I don't know. This is not impressive.
Yeah, but most people can.
I'm not hate. I'm not interested in this.
Bro, I know you're not hating. You don't got to tell me.
The thing is, I'm interested in seeing, if they can make something out of this that actually comes across as really good television. Because a lot of people that say these angles are green and, I don't know.
People think this angle is green? What do you mean?
No, the acting. Like the angle. If every week the acting is like really bad, it's like bad Saturday Night Live skits. Yeah. But then 1 week if it's a good skit and well done, it's like, okay, now I'm invested a little bit, but like totally not invested in this. So backstage, you have footage from earlier today of Alex Marvez talking with Okada, Matthew Jackson, and Nicholas Jackson. And Nicholas commended Marquez for saying Okada's full name. They told him to show more respect by speaking to him in Japanese. Matthews shifted the focus to Okada challenging for the Continental Championship, and Nicholas pointed out that he and Matthews will not be allowed at ringside because that's rules. Those are Continental Classic rules. Nobody allowed at ringside. Matthews said they'd be backstage with their headsets on and would have Okada's back, and Okada spoke in Japanese. then stated in English he's coming for Eddie Kingston's title. Then Matthew asked Marvez if he understood the Japanese part. Marvez said no. Matthew called him to study up by next week. What did you think of this backstage interaction? Did it help?
My problem with this is that they're trying to be heels by acting like, but this is like weak heat. Learn Japanese. We're the EVPs. We're going to be at the gorilla position. Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys are real badasses. Like, you're really dastardly. What a very white word to use. But, I mean, do something that people are like, body shame people when they're walking by. Do that gets heat. That gets actual heat.
Here's the problem. Dude, you're making a great point. Bro, you're not going to get any heat on Alex Marvez.
Right.
Like, nobody cares if you pick on Alex. You're not going to get any heat on for picking on Tony Schiavone. Like, the fans aren't really like, they're not like super over babyface characters. They're going to get sympathy on that guy because you guys are acting like shirts. Right. So I don't know.
The only guy you could probably get heat on is JR, but it'd be considered bad heat because, he's not in good condition, and shouts out to him.
All right, so we got Okada versus Eddie Kingston for the Continental Championship, and I don't know what
what championship is that anyway?
One of the three belts. Okay, this is a Triple Crown Championship, and instead of defending all three, like
you're Continental, the one that used to be the All Atlantic.
I think so.
Yeah. Or is it the one Joe that comes with a continental breakfast? Nothing.
Think about how confusing it still is.
All right, so it's
figure out what exactly they were fighting.
The triple. No.
Does the continent? Wait. You said, does a continental breakfast sound good to you?
Absolutely. I'm a big breakfast fan.
Wait. Do you know what it is?
Isn't that what the hotel gives you in the morning? You go down and get your muffins and coffee and bacon.
Yeah, it's like a grapefruit and some sweet bread or something. You're like continental breakfast. You're thinking pancakes. You know what I'm saying?
That depends.
You're thinking Holiday Inn Express is what you're thinking for continental breakfast, right?
It's the AEW Triple Crown Championship, which includes the Ring of Honor World Title, the Strong Openweight title of New Japan, and then the Continental title was a part of it. But we're going to see what happens there. The Triple Crown isn't going to be around for long.
Interesting. I'm going to send you something, Joe, real quick. All right.
Where are you sending it to? Twitter?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to your. Hang on, no. I'm going to send it to your Twitter inbox. Okay, hang on. All right. So this match was. I'm not saying actually go. So Okada definitely goes over. Okay. What did you think of this match?
So they're trying to wrestle New Japan style, but they're not. They're wrestling like AEW light New Japan. So I don't like the match that much. It was mostly like chops because he beat out of Okada. Bro, the people are cheering Okada. Like they really
he got a
guy because he looks
reaction.
Like and they know he's, like not, if not the best, one of the top 3 best wrestlers in the world, and they're very into work rate. But this wasn't like a great match to me by any means. At least, Eddie was better with his chops than he usually is. He wasn't doing the little patty cake ones that he does in the corner that look like they couldn't bust a grape. Like he was bringing it this time. But there wasn't much to it because they did a lot of selling, but they weren't doing moves that were that impactful to sell that much. They were like selling chops and, I don't know. I know I'm going to sound like a hater on this one. Was not a big fan of this match.
All right. I'm going to sound like a hater too, but I don't know why. Okay, so you've got these 3 new, you got Monet, and you got Okada, and you got Will Ospreay. They're all coming on the scene basically at the exact same time.
Yep.
And it's 3 weeks now, and the number hasn't even budged. Like these people have been brought in and mean absolutely nothing to the numbers yet.
It's a good point.
Okay, so nobody cares about them, but you're not doing anything to make them care, bro. Why would you not for his first big match? You should put Okada in against somebody he's going to look good against, and somebody that can make his stuff look good. Eddie Kingston doesn't make anybody's stuff look good. Like he sells kind of like he looks very clumsy out there. Like the fact.
But you got to remember, here's the thing about Eddie Kingston, bro, and this is the same thing we were saying about Cody Rhodes with Vince. People believe in him, whether we don't or not. People believe in him, and people like him, and he's over. And what they did is they just gave this guy in this. Was this his first match? No, I think he's
first singles match.
First singles match. He already won a title, right?
Yep.
Right.
I don't know why all 3 weren't on the line and only one was, but then again, that's
the Triple Crown is no more.
The bizarre world that
I don't know.
Right.
Right. But I will say this: Okada does it, bro. I'm gonna call it like it is.
Right.
He wrestles exactly, because they all wrestle like him. He comes into WWE, AEW now, and he wrestles like what looks like exactly like anybody else. 10 minutes into the match, you're doing the thing, well, you hit me, I'm going to hit you. You hit me, let me hit you. And his forearms did not look good. When they did an exchange, like later, their chop, Eddie would chop, he would forearm. His forearms didn't look good.
Because I think he's in the United States and he knows that's,
like you work lighter,
right?
I don't know.
Work lighter unless you meet Osprey or maybe Danielson, right? Everybody else, you just got to work
Omega.
All right, well,
maybe Omega, right? Yeah.
The numbers showed this match did nothing for him at all. I'm sorry, but it just didn't.
Right.
You could argue it, but like I look at the interest level of like.
Well, that's why I want to see the quarter hours. That'll give us another barometer of how well he did. But our main problem
they showed the Jax is actually celebrating on the monitors with Tony Khan. So.
Right. Well, how's that supposed to be heat? I don't understand.
I don't know. Tony's like a baby face. Well, then they're back there. They're supposed to be
right. And he's kind of agreeing, like, yeah.
Right.
I'm like, what's going on here? What is kids like our world? Yeah.
So basically, they're interviewing Swerve and Nana backstage, and the gist was that they asked him why he brought a chain in the ring. He's like, well, Joe choked me out. I'm going to show you how my receipt is based. I'm going to show this is how I was going to choke him out with the chain, right?
Right.
Swerve said he was inspired by Mike Tyson getting ready for his fight and won his own fight tonight. And Swerve said they better set a big man and close with his who's house line. So he's just going to have a random match here. So I don't feel. Willow Nightingale, Chris Sadler, and Stokely Hathaway said they'd be in the street fight in the main event on Rampage after this show against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And then Mercedes Moné showed up, and Sadler thanked Moné for having Willow's back last week. And Moné said CEO stands up for what she believes in. This is like so scripted now, right? Like they brought in their WWE writer. Now she's like delivering like the scripted WWE lines, right?
Did you see what Bully Ray said about that?
What do you say?
He was like, she's hitting CEO too much. He's like, they get it. They're going to chant it. You don't have to hit it every 3 sentences. You're overusing it kind of thing.
Right. She said she'd be watching from the...
Yeah, because they're probably trying to get that thing over, but it's already over.
It's already over.
If it's already over, listen to the people. You don't have to keep saying it.
You got to listen to how brutal her entrance music is. Like she's got her horrible entrance music, right? Joe, try to find it. Okay?
I'm doing it now.
Oh, by the way, pull up that. So we had the Continental Classic, okay. I want to show you one of the finish from the Intercontinental Classic Championship match. Joe, you got that clip?
Yep.
I love the commentary on this. Joe, fast forward about 1 minute, okay?
Yep.
Or about 45 seconds. You're right here. Yeah, right there's good. Right there.
Get him over now. Dragon measuring a hugging hot man. Maybe even at this moment sensing victory. Oh, he's close. I'm not going to doubt it. Hugging hot man off the rope. Oh, ha. But as this, but it's not. Hugging hot man needing it. There's maneuver by the Dragon. That was a saving maneuver by the Dragon. He was ready to fight it. Dogwood's coming with that head of steam. Ooh, no, like a steamroller. But now it may be downstairs goes the Dragon, upstairs down.
I'm with the Dragon. Come on, Honky. Come on, Honky. So Jimmy R is great, right?
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Shoot him down from there. From the top. Never. Or turn him over. He tied up. Turn him down. Turn him down. That's the. He's on the ropes. Wait a minute. With the Dragon pin the hook.
The announcing is great.
How did the Honky Tonk Man pin the Dragon? I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest. I can't believe it. Honky Tonk won. Unbelievable. And you said he wasn't a contender. He's the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion.
How great was Ventura?
The new champion was a contender. He's the champion. A major.
Bro, you're like me. You're a huge.
I'm a huge fan of the simplicity of professional wrestling. With these guys were so good at their job,
right?
That they can say the most simple things and just sort of like tell such a great story.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute.
And
said he wasn't a contender. No, he's a champion. He's like, and Vince is like, I can't believe it.
Bro,
nobody could believe it.
Let me say this: Vince and Jesse and Gorilla, and Gorilla and Bobby.
Oh,
right. Yeah,
just incredible.
Great stuff, right?
Yeah.
So here's Mercedes' theme song. we'll get a little juicy seal this.
Yeah, not good.
Do you like the CEO? CEO?
That sounds like when who
I do, bro. Only makes a good point. It's like we get it.
Bring it back to juice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
remember that? Bring back the juice. Bring back the juice. Yeah.
Bring back the juice.
CEO.
Oh, okay, so champion Hook versus Chris Jericho in a non-title match, and this was basically Jericho went to Suplex City from Hook. Somebody put a thing up on Twitter that this is a callback of Taz versus Jericho, like the identical match. Like Taz just kept giving him suplex, and Jericho was selling his neck. Yeah. I saw it. Yeah, go look that up, Joe.
I mean, I know what match you're talking about. Yeah.
Did you? Oh, but somebody posted a split screen on Twitter.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Just go search Hook versus Jericho and see if you can find find the person that posted the clip.
I will, but here goes the quarter hours is on the screen also.
Oh wow, the Okada match just lost viewers, huh? Wow. Well, they haven't really done anything to make people care about him yet. He's a heel. He hasn't really done any interesting stuff. I don't. All right, what do you think about those numbers, Konnan, with that first match?
Oh, yeah. My biggest concern is, bro. Now they're in that low 800. They're right at 800.
Yeah.
700.
And the show's not doing anything interesting. It's like you're delivering the same show each week.
Free agents. You just said they signed the three biggest and had not really moved anything. Yeah, Monet got that 1 million because that's that curiosity thing.
Right.
But yeah, but
I can't think
interesting.
No, I can't think of one story that I would go back for, like when they had Jericho and MJF's thing, or Punk and MJF. There was.
I mean, you're not
story
totally
beats every week.
In what Jericho's doing with Hook, nothing.
Right. So
I mean, it's good, but
it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I like Chris, so
that's okay. That's not the point. If you like him or you don't like him, is the storyline that he's doing. I feel right now, Chris, and that's our boy. He's stale. He needs to. And it's hard to come up with good ideas every week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
what I meant by that was
maybe get hurt, let people miss you and come back or something, like what's going to happen when MJF when he comes back, place is going to pop because they miss him. He isn't oversaturated. Chris, maybe you'll have every week doing something.
He'll have a Foston tour coming up or something.
Here's the problem with this match. I understand what Chris is trying to do, but dude, I don't think what AEW understands is the power of optics. Okay, every week when these little guys are beating the bigger guys and your numbers aren't moving at all, bro, nobody's buying this. You can't keep having the little guys beating the good guys every single week because people see this and it just doesn't look like it makes sense when it happens every single week on the show. So it's just like the people think it's fake, and like the number shows, like a lot of people just turn it off because this stuff's not interesting. They say, okay, we're trying to push Hook and make him a kill. Bro, this kid, he doesn't look the part. He's too small. If he had 30 pounds on him, was like 3 inches taller, he'd look great. You know what I'm saying? But he's just a small version of a character that looks great, but he is too small.
My biggest problem with Hook is that they cooled him off when it was working. I mean, this is a few years ago now when he was first
signed. They do that to everybody,
like
Joe.
A killer.
Yeah, like I don't.
But they do that to everybody. Who doesn't get that treatment? Like
I don't care if they're gonna tell me again that this kid's a killer. Yeah, we started that story a long time ago and it stopped. You're just rehashing it. I don't know.
Yeah, and he isn't as over. He's lost a lot of steam, but it's all the booking.
Yep.
So Adam Cole is back in the. Oh, back by the way, after the match, because these guys were teaming last week, and Chris is taking him under his wing, kind of. I want to see what he had this week. After the match, they bumped fists.
Right. Chris and who?
Hook.
Yeah, and
yeah.
He'll do the promo later because.
Right. So Adam Cole was in a chair in the same room. It looks like he did his fairy tale promo last week, and basically cut a promo said they were disappointed in Wardlow, and this Wardlow needs to Wardlow needs to make amends because Cole said he wants Wardlow to reach his true potential, told him not to screw up. So basically, he has to make sure that Taven, Ben, and Strong keep their titles. So he's doing so. So Wardlow, when the whole thing of being subservient to MJF because the guy was paying him, broke out of that thing, squashed the guy, became a pretty big babyface. He did nothing with him. They went to being a heel with these guys. Now he's back in the subservient role, and he's not even getting paid. So, and bro, let me tell you something too. This is a huge error in booking. Okay, you needed to do. Konnan will tell you this, right? Wardlow just got choked out last week. Okay, to protect him, you needed him to get his heat back this week. or else he's going to become an afterthought. He said he loses value every single week. You do something like that to him, you need to pick his value back up immediately. They did not do that this week. They actually are forwarding the storyline, which makes him look even more like. What do you think about that, Cody? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, unless the only saving thing, and I don't even know if this will happen, but just me trying to justify all this lunacy, because that's the only word. First of all, you shouldn't have beaten him the first time. Right. And the way you beat him, choked out clean in the middle with his ponytail cut. Okay? Then after that, if you remember, he was with MJF. It's hard to like this guy because MJF made him sign a contract where he was almost kind of like a slave. You're like, why are you that dumb? But anyways, then now for some reason, he's letting Cole kind of push him around and, I want you to win the title and you got to bring it to me. Almost like what Christian was doing with Kill Switch. Like, why are these big guys so dumb? Why are they listening to these people? It's hard to follow them, Then he goes in there again. He gets beat again. He gets choked out again. The only thing I'm thinking that could save this is somehow him and MJF hook up and come back against Cole and somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. You're exactly right.
All right. So the big superstar signing, Will Ospreay, who everybody on Twitter now is saying they need to make him the face of the company. He's the guy. He's that guy.
Right.
Comes up for a promo, and I'm going to read you Jason Powell's verbatim here of the verbiage, just so all the verbiage, but this is the synopsis. So this is what the big guy the big number one baby face. This is what he had to say this week. Top of the hour. He recalled Bryan Danielson saying he was grateful to be getting in the ring with him, but then he also said that that Ospreay couldn't walk in his shoes. Ospreay said he couldn't fit in Danielson's shoes because they were too small for him. Ospreay said that what Danielson did in Japan was great, whereas he elevated professional wrestling while he was in Japan. Ospreay ran through the titles he won in Japan. Ospreay said he would prove he could walk in Danielson's shoes. Ospreay brought up Katsuyori Shibata and recalled that Shibata beat the blood. Ospreay said he was a 23-year-old kid and is a different man now and has something to prove. Ospreay challenged Shibata to face him next week on Dynamite. Excalibur said Tony just made the match official. Let me ask you what you think of this. And everybody's on Twitter talking about what a great promo, okay?
What did you want to know?
What did you think of this?
I want to see how old Okada is. He's 36. Okay. So, let me tell you, when I was in Impact, I'd already known Will Ospreay when he was probably around 22 or 23 years old. I wanted him to come to AAA. I think I've said the story before. And he said, no, because, I don't want to leave my girlfriend in England and all this other stuff. And I remember watching him and going, bro, this guy's going to be the greatest wrestler in the world very soon, because he was just very talented. When I went to Impact, I saw a match between him and Mike Bailey that was incredible, and that is the word. And there was another one between him and Josh Alexander, which was different, but just as good. And I thought to myself, okay, I thought Kenny Omega was the best wrestler in the world. It's now this kid. Now, a lot of people think it's Okada. So wrestling-wise, this guy's probably the best, to me, all-around worker in that company. I like his promos. They're full of passion, and he gets the people to sing bruh, 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 and all that. I'm a big fan of Will Ospreay.
So, okay, so that's your take on this? I wonder what you thought of this
promo. This promo, yeah, it was good. I thought it was good.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm concerned that
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
Say WWE had hired Ospreay, okay? Yep. And now he's coming in, like he's got a lot of fanfare. He said, then like people think, well, this guy could be the next top guy. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you kind of, basically, he got one guy came out on the ramp a couple weeks ago and challenged him because he heard he's a great worker. And it was like Chad Gable. Okay. Like Chad said, Chad Gable's a good worker. He wants to know how good, who's the best wrestler here. Well, first thing they're not doing, like Cornette brought this up. This is a great point. Is him and Danielson are talking about like who's the best wrestler, right? Like that's their angle. Would you agree on that?
Yes.
Okay, they're not even fighting for the belt. Like if you want to talk, okay, if you're setting up your universe, and like in this thing, bro, if you're talking about the best wrestler, the verbiage should be talking about the champion. He should want to fight Joe. Okay, so fast forward. Let's say he was in WWE, and we're hearing all these great things about this guy, And he comes out and he starts his promo, and then he goes off in a rant. Now he's in WWE, okay? and he goes off on a rant about how much big of a mark he is for Japanese wrestling. And here he is at WWE now, and he wants to wrestle a guy that he wrestled 7 years ago in Japan now. Okay, he doesn't call out Roman. He doesn't call out anybody like that. I would be compelled when I'm hearing about this guy coming in that like would have a compelling program with a compelling match. He calls out a guy that he wrestled 7 years ago in Japan.
Yeah. So for example, let's say he wanted a rematch with Carl Anderson. There you go. Carl Anderson had a match. Yeah.
And like, so next week he challenges Carl, and people like, so do you see my criticism here? Bro,
Okay,
they're giving him nothing to work with right now.
Let me tell you what's the main difference.
Okay.
So when you were talking with Vince Russo, how much did you guys say WWE is a hardcore crowd?
Well, he said it's a hardcore crowd. I see there's a lot of casuals in the crowd right
That's what I say. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So here's the big difference. That would not get over in WWE because there's so many casual fans that don't know who what he's talking about.
Of course.
AEW, he can get away with it because they're all like fanboys, hardcore marks. There's not that many casuals, I would think. Okay.
Right.
And so, and my case is there's no way that in WWE, as good as Okada is and as popular as he is with the hardcores, they would have been applauding him as a heel in WWE. But they do that in AEW because they're all marks for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can kind of get away with that in AEW because it's a different
I'm aware of that.
culture. Yeah.
But all three of all three of these people who come in, all brand new, exciting pieces. And I'm like, okay, what are they going to do with this guy? Bro, they're doing nothing with any of these guys that compel me at all already. And it's like, dude, like we talk about this all the time with them. You got to hit the ground hard. Like every time they bring in a star, it's always a gradual. Bro, this guy's gonna be wrestling Lee Moriarty in a couple weeks. And Keith, who's the bounty hunter? What's his name?
I don't remember. What is his?
Seriously,
Brian Keith. Brian Keith.
It's like I don't know. He's wrestled Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita. They were in their group. I don't know. Have they had a falling out yet? Had that story been ended with
I don't think it went anywhere.
I don't even know. Did Wendell Word is that? Is he still a part of Don Callis' family, or are they is he friends with those guys still?
It's a good question.
Like he's just doing the same with Brian. Bro, this is so lame. I mean, what a mischief! This guy right off the bat, it's like what he could have done is first month in WWE compared to this is like. Come on.
And I'm concerned that about the idea of the Bryan versus Ospreay match because Bryan, as we've seen, is going to put the match before his own health and safety sometimes. Yeah, and it just makes me think of Omega Ospreay when they did that Tiger Driver. And I'm like, dude, Bryan's going to do something stupid and he might get hurt. Right. That's just my take as a fan. Maybe I just hope they're safe. That's all.
So we go to Toni Storm and Mariah May against Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo. And Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo win in 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And Storm hit a hip attack on Rosa in the corner. Storm set up for Storm Zero, but Rosa countered it to jackknife and got the 3 count. But there was some tension after the match because Purrazzo was upset with Rosa for tagging herself in. Oh, by the way, there's a spot there was a tag. The referee allowed a tag. One of the girls was over the middle of the ropes and tagged it. They just let's tag. It's like the referee's just so bad at AEW, right?
The only thing
all you got to do is a referee say you stop the person from getting the ring. You direct them to the corner and say, "Hey, go to make this legal."
Right.
Instead, they just just looks.
So the only thing that was weird to me, much like Willow and Monet, that is why are they beefing? Wasn't Deonna supposed to be beefing with Toni Storm, and now she's mad at Thunder? Why did Thunder tag herself in out of nowhere like that? But maybe they're going to explain in the future. But it just seems like now it's Deonna and this one, which I'm glad because to tell you the truth, and I didn't expect this to be the case, Disco, the Toni Deonna thing has been very underwhelming.
Right. Everything's underwhelming. That's why the numbers aren't very good. Yeah. So next we get the match that we all wanted. Swerve Strickland against the Butcher. Right? Because Swerve won.
Oh, man.
Swerve beats the Butcher. And Swerve stood in the ring with a chain around his neck after the match, and Swerve got a mic and said he had a lot of respect for Samoa Joe before he met him. He said he felt interference once they met, and then he started to dislike him. Swerve said he's close to hating him. Swerve spoke about choking out Joe with the chain, but said Joe's neck is so big he doesn't have enough chain. Swerve said he would take out Joe's security every week until Joe gives him what he wants. He's challenged all the security. What does that say about the security? He's like, I'm challenging all your security. I'm going to take him out. AEW World Champion Samoa Joe made his entrance dressed in a suit and stopped at the bottom of the entrance ramp. It looks like Joe every week looks very professional, like $1 million. There's his a very good representation of that belt right now.
There's what Russo meant though. If you're in a suit, you're a heel. That's kind of what he was trying to say.
Bro, Ric Flair was in a suit as a heel, as a babyface, as everything. Come on.
Steve Austin didn't wear a suit. Hulk Hogan didn't wear a suit. Rock.
Swerve spoke about choking out Joe with the chain, but he said his neck is so big he didn't have enough chain. Swerve said he would take out Joe's security every week until he gets well. Right here. Sorry, I said that. Joe said Swerve's biggest problem is that impossible is possible. He said the problem with that belief, it's infectious, and that people start to believe it. Joe said he knew what to do with Swerve, which would give him exactly what he wants, and Joe slammed the mic down and started walking towards the ring. Don Callis interrupted over Mike and walked on the stage and said that Swerve and Takeshita have the same number of wins, but Takeshita is undefeated outside the Callis family. Callis said Takeshita should show Swerve what it's like to lose to the family. Callis said it's not Swerve's house, it's Don Callis' family's house. Oh, by the way, Don Callis had really good heat here from the live audience, okay? Swerve said if he wasn't distracted, he would burn the Don Callis family tree to crisp, and said he would face Takeshita, and once he finished him, he'd be coming for Joe. Excalibur announced that Takeshita will face Swerve next week, right? What do you think?
You know what's sad, bro? That none of this interests me.
Right.
Not the Butcher against Swerve, not Takeshita against whoever who's Takeshita wrestling?
Swerve next week.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's like I had Dynamite on. I was watching it on the computer here while I was doing something else, and I like Swerve, but Swerve butchered. The window went right under another window, and I wasn't paying attention. I watched it again. I watched it again when I heard Don, and then I hit it again. That's about it.
Like, if this was compelling, if you wanted a compelling TV here, you should have had Swerve talked about he wanted to have a match, right? And then the next thing you do is Swerve comes out there for who's Swerve going to wrestle? It's like, you're talking about he's coming out for his match. You show Adam Page show up in his pickup truck. He pulls up, he gets out, he's got an envelope with him. He goes by the we've already established that they have the monitors of Tony Khan. He goes by Tony Khan. He tosses an envelope at him and heads to the ring to go fight Swerve. Security breaks up and they have a big pull apart. I mean, what just happened there? He said, well, I get suspended. He goes, I gave Tony $10,000 to get back on. I don't know. There's something where it would have been a more compelling match than Butcher.
Right.
Bro, look at all the guys you have on that roster. Why are you throwing Butcher out there against?
And why does he have to go to Takeshita just because Don said so?
I don't know. It's just, bro, the reason you guys aren't drawing is this stuff is just not interesting. It's lame. And it's just,
some of it isn't logical.
And literally every single one of these segments, off the top of my head, I can figure out something they would have done that would have been far more compelling and more exciting television,
But what was the reason? Because I actually forgot. What was the reason that Don gave for him wrestling Takeshita?
Callis said that Swerve and Takeshita had the same number of wins. Okay,
that's it.
this year, I guess.
That's
right?
the reason.
But Takeshita is undefeated outside the Callis family. Callis said Takeshita could show Swerve what it's like to lose to the family. And Callis said it's not Swerve's house, it's the Don Callis' family house.
And
Swerve said if he wasn't distracted, he would burn the Callis family house down to a tree to a crisp. Said he would face Takeshita, and once he finished with him, he would be coming for Joe. And Excalibur announced that Takeshita will face.
Why does he need to go through Takeshita? Why does he need to?
They don't have to go through anybody. He said he's accepting the challenge.
It was like,
and once he
didn't force him to do it. Right. We've joked about.
Why would I want to face an extra guy when I can just go straight to the guy I'm going to fight? Right. That's my kind of thinking. Okay, go ahead.
We've joked about this on the show before, especially Disco, and I know you've talked about it with Russo and stuff about how when Tony was younger, prior to this day, he played the booking simulation wrestling booker games. And I'm more and more convinced that that's close to, if not the truth, because when I look at the matches he has booked for next week and like that, those are exactly the matches you would play in this game because they'd be guaranteed like a 5-star rating or something like that. Right. It looks like he's booking a video game. That's what I get now.
Oh, we got to do on this show one time. You got to pull this wrestling simulation game up, and we got to look at it and see what's up with this thing. Do you have it?
I can show you some on YouTube. I can't play it on here because you can't play it on a Mac.
Oh, you can't play it on a Mac? Can you show us? But you can show us on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get it.
Next week, we're going to get a YouTube clip, and we're going to find out if this is how they're booking AEW. Okay.
Yep.
So the main event was Copeland versus Cage. They had all a bunch of going on, and there's tables and everything, just blood and stuff. But this was a decent version of an AEW garbage match because these guys sell better than everybody else. Like they made more of this stuff mean something. And one of the most entertaining spots I've seen in a long time. They're in the penalty box at the arena. A fan has a Bruins jersey on, another fan has a Maple Leafs jersey on.
That was great.
Copeland takes the Bruins jersey out and puts it on Cage. And then another fan has the Toronto jersey. He takes it off and gives it to Copeland. And then they had the most entertaining hockey fight spot I've ever seen on a professional wrestling show.
Including the uppercuts.
Yeah. that was the best spot of the match.
Plus, what people don't understand that aren't hockey fans is the Bruins is like the Toronto's nemesis. Yeah, we always beat them in the playoffs. So when he was beating them up, people were cheering. That was great.
People were good. Yeah, that
was very smart.
This was to me the best spot of the match.
Right, and that should have been the main event, and it was. I mean,
think about this too. I want you to think about this because the reason this was such a great spot, okay, bro, it shows you could do the Gaga. You don't have to go up the tables and stuff. Like you could do stuff like that, and the people pop as big as the other spots in the match that you do that make you that hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like this was very entertaining. Everybody got involved, but they had a clever finish where they basically hooked them all behind their backs, like chained them to the ring post.
Right.
Then it just got a little bit silly because he kicked him in the 9 times, and he still said, he still wouldn't quit. And then he got a bat with like nails on it, and he was like threatening like he was going to like murder the guy. And he finally quit. Like the guy's probably going to hit him in the head with the bat, the big bat full of nails, right?
To tell you the truth, the thing at the end where Nick Wayne and Killswitch came in to stop Adam from winning, and then Daniel Garcia and the magic stick, to me none of that needed to happen.
Right.
Also the lady, I forgot her name.
Shayna Wayne.
Okay. She only does one thing, and she's done, and it's gonna become repetitive and boring, the low blow. Mm-hmm. That's all she does. She brings nothing to the game. I could have done without that part. To me, was a little overbooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So he goes over, and that was the big finish. And they went into Rampage, which I did not bother to watch. So
me neither.
Yeah. All right. So, but that was for a garbage match, that was a better garbage match because the guys they know how to sell big. It's like I said, this was 25 minutes and 50 seconds. And like, if this was but they did enough of stuff that would have been done in a typical 15-minute match.
Right.
Like, but they just sold a lot to make it mean more. So this was actually very entertaining for, like I said, very different for
both of them as beat up as they are and for their age, they brought it, bro.
Right.
Sure.
But that's
appreciated that.
That's the most viral spot of the show. Was a hockey fight spot.
That was great. And the other one, when he kicked the guy into the net at the end. What did he? Yeah.
So I was like, the Gaga stuff.
And the place popped when that happened, by the way.
Think about that. That's professional wrestling where the Gaga spots is what you remembered on the show. So right. So that's been our AEW. Oh, by the way, what did you like on this? What you didn't like?
Well, the main event I liked. I liked the continuation of Swerve and Joe. I don't think he needs to go through Takeshita.
All right.
I'm not interested in what Monet's doing yet. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure why Deanna's now like beefing with Thunder Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as looking forward to anything, there's really nothing. There's no storyline here that has me. Maybe Joe and Swerve is the only one.
Right.
Joe and Swerve is just progressing, taking forever to progress again. They're just have verbal. I didn't like them. I don't like any of the new people's stuff. It's flat right now. It hadn't interested me. So I don't know what they're doing with Jericho. And but that main event was actually pretty entertaining. So, but nothing else is entered. Bro, they miss MJF a lot. Yeah. Like every week we would talk about the MJF segment, and it was like, it was always be very entertaining, minus the exception, like maybe a couple times.
And remember, there were people emailing us, MJF this, MJF that.
He's
not a draw. Okay, well, he's been off TV for a while and they've lost like 80,000 people. So, I mean, am I right?
Yeah.
He always had one or two entertainment segments.
Yeah.
They missed Punk too. Punk is people can say whatever about Punk, but something like just about his presence, it just energized the whole show. I think.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited uncensored content, and being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones, and thank you for picking us. Boom.